There's a lot of really bad, toxic, horrible dating advice out there. Not only is there a lot of it, it's popular and it freaks me out. It freaks me out. And so today I wanted to talk about it. The first thing I saw on the internet was sort of this genre of dating content that borders on being sort of like witchcraft. Like it's not witchcraft, but it kind of has like witchy energy, but it more sort of looks like manifestation and like law of attraction vibes, but it has witchy undertones. Not that witchy undertones are bad, just kind of like magic undertones. Things like, for example, reciting affirmations related to the person you want to attract, like saying, Roger's obsessed with me. Roger wants to be with me. Roger is a fictional character. Roger loves my body. Roger is going to text me tomorrow. Roger, reciting affirmations about what you want to happen. Another example of this would be, I saw a video about writing a letter from the perspective of the lover that you want to have. Like if there's a person that you have a crush on or an ex that you want back, writing a letter from their perspective and making it a love letter for yourself. And then there was sort of a ritual of like folding it up and putting it under your pillow. And then in theory, they're supposed to text you if you do that. Okay, moving on. Another piece of modern dating advice. Wait a long time before responding to texts. Make them sweat and worry. It will make your response to the text so satisfying that they become sort of addicted to you because it creates uncertainty and intermittent reward, which activates the brain's dopamine system. Okay, no. I cannot with games. Games like this to me are exhausting. If somebody waits a day or two to text me back and I'm on my phone and I see the text come in, you want to know how long I'm waiting to respond to that text? 0 minutes. I'm responding immediately. There have been times in my life where I've played the game a little bit. I've waited. If they waited an hour, I've waited 2 hours. You know, it's kind of common dating practice. Nowadays, I don't care. I'm not playing hard to get. I'm not playing any fucking games because if I'm going to be in a romantic situation, a romantic relationship, I do not want games. So I don't want to participate in any sort of psychological game because I want to show whoever I'm talking to out the gate that that's not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I think it's kind of a power move to be like, I'm confident enough in myself to respond to you immediately. I don't need to psychologically torment you. I'm confident in what I bring to the table enough that I am just going to respond to you when you text me. I'm going to respond to you whenever I feel like it. And listen, sometimes you get a text and you're like, I'll handle that later. Great. Sometimes you get a text and you're like, I want to respond to that right now. Then you respond to it right then. It's like, if you start off on the wrong foot in a relationship, playing games and doing this or that, that will continue into the relationship. And I don't want that type of relationship. You know, I want something comfortable, safe, warm. There's something about waiting to respond to a text that feels cold. It doesn't feel like love, you know? And I understand the courting phase is an important time when you're feeling each other out and you don't want to come off too strong. You don't want to come off too available. I get it. And yeah, like there's definitely some value in like if you receive a text waiting 10 minutes and thinking about your response sometimes too. Sure. But intentionally being like, I'm not going to respond to 2 days because I want to drive him nuts. That's not, it's cold energy. It's cold energy. And it's also kind of inhumane, honestly. I mean, maybe that's extreme, but like treating other people like psychological test experiments, like that's not nice. I do believe that what we put out into the world is what we receive to an extent. I mean, I think it's not that simple of an equation, but I think it's like, you don't get away with that. It's what my dad always tells me. He's like, you will not get away with anything. Like if you do something wrong, you will pay a price. I mean, that's the golden truth. Treat others how you'd like to be treated. Do you want to be ignored for 2 days and treated like a psychological experiment? No. Next piece of modern dating advice. This is called breadcrumbing. It's kind of like waiting 2 hours to respond to a text, waiting 2 days to respond to a text, but on a broader scale. Breadcrumbing is avoiding commitment, refusing a label, being like, oh no, like, you know, we don't need, like, we're not ready for that yet. Or, oh, I'm not in a place in my life for that right now. Like, it's just not quite right. It's avoiding commitment and sending mixed signals. So saying like, oh, I'm not able to commit right now, but then like being super flirty with you, giving you a lot of compliments, maybe even like having sex with you, but then being like, oh, but I can't commit. And also giving attention that's flirty, romantic, whatever, and then kind of disappearing for a while and then coming back and doing the same thing again and then disappearing. Being super inconsistent across the board. Nothing adds up. Nothing makes sense. This is called breadcrumbing. And I guess it's called breadcrumbing because this kind of behavior causes the other person to question how they really feel, and they'll start to doubt themselves and crave the breadcrumbs of affection and approval more. It also activates the dopamine system. It's like when something's inconsistent, when you receive it, it feels so much better than when you have a steady source of it. Again, I think I hold a similar sort of feeling about this that I do about waiting to text. It's like, this is very effective. And I know that because I've been breadcrumbed many times in my life. I've never breadcrumbed. Like, I've never been the one to do this to somebody, but it has absolutely happened to me. And I know the feeling. It drives you nuts. Nuts. And when they give you what you've been craving, it's like euphoric, okay? But it is kind of unethical. It's unethical. The next piece of modern dating advice, be the best sex they've ever had. The idea is, if you're the best sex that they've ever had, then you're impossible to reject and you'll be irreplaceable. At the end of the day, we love sex. Not everyone, but most people. Sex really controls us. Yeah. I have a lot of feelings about this. Number one, how are you supposed to be the best sex someone has ever had? How is that even accomplished? How do you even know? What are you even supposed to do? Next piece of modern dating advice. This is called Shreking. It's a concept called Shreking, named after Shrek, the animated ogre in the animated film Shrek. You may be familiar with him. He's a green monster. The concept of Shreking is to date somebody you consider below your standards, somebody who maybe would be perceived as sort of like a Shrek, which is so fucked up. Anyway, it's dating somebody you consider below your standards because you're out of this person's league. You'll automatically have the upper hand in the relationship and be unlikely to get hurt. See, this one doesn't make any sense to me at all because in order for me to be attracted to somebody, I have to admire them in some way. Now, it might be a delusional admiration based on some sort of thing that I made up in my head about them that's not even real. But in some way, in one way or another, I need to admire them. And I definitely don't admire anyone who I perceive to be below my standards. So like, I don't even know how you mentally show up for somebody who's below your standards in your opinion. Like, I don't even know how to comment on this because I just couldn't even do it. Next piece of modern dating advice, date them till you hate them. The concept is you should stay in a relationship long enough to build resentment so breaking up feels easier. Listen, I get the temptation to do this. I do, and I've done this. I have done this. It's very hard for me to end relationships because I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter and I will push until the very end. And I'm not doing it to try to ease the breakup. I'm doing it because I want to leave no stones left unturned. I want to make sure I did everything I possibly could to try to resolve the issues and try to give it a fair chance and see if there's growth opportunities in the challenges. But eventually the issues prove themselves to be sort of unsolvable, at least for the time being. And then it's time to do a split. But I tend to push it to the very last minute. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying until it absolutely will not work anymore. And that's been proven to the both of you. But to intentionally do that because you want it to hurt less, like that seems like a waste of time. Okay, next, the concept of monkey branching. Okay, this is a genius term for this. Monkey branching is before breaking up with your partner, finding your next love interest, having someone lined up. This way, it'll be painless. Now, wouldn't we all love to do this? I've never done this. However, I've almost done it in a way because I've always been somebody who's moved on to my next relationship somewhat quickly after my last one. I've never once had somebody lined up But I have met people shortly after breaking up with one person. Now, let me tell you what happens, at least in my experience. You're going to sabotage your next relationship because having no time to recalibrate in between could make you miss your ex more, make you obsess over your ex more, because you didn't have any time to center in between and find yourself and gather yourself before getting into the next thing. You didn't have any time to grieve, to lay in bed at night and remember the good moments. You didn't have any time to do that. And now you're in another relationship, and doing that is weird and it's inappropriate. So it's something that you have to suppress in yourself. And you know what that suppression is going to cause? Obsession about the ex. It'll backfire, I think. Next piece of modern dating advice, the cheating test. This concept is so fucked up. Message your significant other from a fake account with like a hot profile picture or whatever, and see if they respond and cheat on you. If you need to do this with your partner, why don't you trust them? Get to the bottom of that. That is what you need to get to the bottom of. And if you know that they're a cheater and it's driving you nuts because you're like, oh, I forgave them because they cheated on me once, I'm scared that they're going to do it again, I believe it's maybe they're just not right for you. You know what I mean? If you have to go to this extent to like ease something in your mind, there is a big issue. This should be beep, 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 something's going wrong. I need to figure out what is going wrong. Whether it's you have trust issues from a past relationship, or you don't trust your partner for some reason because they do sus things, or you maybe are super anxiously attached and you need like reassurance or something. I don't know. Listen, but you got to dig into it. Listen, I get it. In love, we can sometimes get into a weird state where we start doing stuff that is a little bit obsessive, stuff that we wouldn't normally do, stuff that is honestly out of character, because love is like a drug and it kind of puts you in a weird place. And so you might start doing weird things, and it can be easy to justify in the moment. But in my opinion, if you are participating in the cheating test, you need a reality check. And that's not an insult. That's just like, hold on a minute. What's going on here? You're all wrapped up in this, so much so that you're doing something a little bit weird. Zoom out. Go for a walk outside. Take a deep breath. Why are you doing that? Open up the journal. Crack it open and start writing shit down. Why are you doing that? And see what you discover. But let me tell you, there is a solution to whatever your issue is with your partner that is much more reasonable and much more respectable than what you're doing. Not to insult you, because I get why you're doing it, because it's tempting sometimes. If you have suspicions, if you feel insecure, but you love your partner so much, you're like, I just need to test them and make sure. No, you don't. You need to talk to a therapist. You need to break up with them. You don't need to make a fake account.